The Season 6 finale dropped a bombshell with a significant teaser involving Excalibur and Captain Britain, confirming that Marvel has concrete plans for assembling this team. Furthermore, there's exciting news regarding upcoming projects featuring Emilia Clarke, Olivia Colman, and others, including Kit Harington as Black Knight, set to grace both series and movies in the near future. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Towards the episode's conclusion, Emilia Clarke's character unleashes her newfound Super Skrull powers, culminating in a dramatic showdown with Gravite. She can now mimic the abilities of nearly every MCU character, including those who participated in the epic final battle of Avengers Endgame, such as Thanos, Scarlet Witch, Captain Marvel, and Thor. It's practically easier to list the powers she doesn't possess now, with Vision being the exception due to his non-organic nature as an android. Although she's exceptionally formidable, there are still a few characters in the MCU who surpass her in power. In the comics, Skrulls with power-mimicking abilities during the Secret Invasion storyline were limited to wielding only 4 powers at a time, and even then, they couldn't match the full might of the original individuals. This approach will likely be used to maintain balance for Emilia Clarke's character, suggesting that she's slightly less potent than the originals. As for the intriguing teaser, instead of Nick Fury in his Saber space station, we have a surprise appearance by Sonya Falsworth executing her own British spin on the iconic Nick Fury Iron Man post-credits scene. She recruits Emilia Clarke for a version of Excalibur in the MCU, encouraging her to embrace the role of the new Super Skrull actress, complete with playful nods to Game of Thrones. Also, let's not forget Kit Harington's Black Knight, another British character with ties to several Excalibur members, whom we'll delve into shortly. They even grace us with a snippet of Captain Britain's theme music, leaving no doubt about their intention to bring this team to life or assemble an exciting new squad. In the MCU, they are essentially using this as the British equivalent of the Avengers. While it may differ somewhat from the comics, it remains quite faithful. Certain roster changes are necessary, especially initially, due to the introduction of characters that haven't been explored yet, notably those from the X-Men universe. One key character on the horizon is Captain Britain, who has already been hinted at in the MCU. Kit Harington's character, the Black Knight, wasn't originally part of the comic book team, but being a British character with connections to Excalibur, he serves as a crossover element. The origins of the Black Knight, rooted in the legends of Camelot, the Knights of the Round Table, and King Arthur's Chronicles, align with the Excalibur team's narrative. The Excalibur sword even made its debut in the Eternals movie alongside Kit Harington's Black Knight and the Ebony Blade, an important artifact. Is the Ebony Blade also Excalibur? It seems Arthur had a fascination with it. The initial tease for Captain Britain can be traced back to Avengers Endgame. On a time travel mission to the 1970s with Iron Man, overheard Peggy Carter mentioning Agent Braddock being on a mission. Considering this was the 1970s, it's probable that this referred to either Brian Braddock's parents or ancestors, as Brian Braddock is known to traverse time and space across the multiverse. Brian Braddock appears to be his real name, and he's often compared to the British counterpart of Captain America, even though their origin stories and abilities are entirely distinct. For those hoping to see Henry Cavill in the MCU, Captain Britain could be an excellent fit for him. This is because he won't be portraying the Sentry, a character with dark Superman-like traits. We'll meet the MCU version of the Sentry during Thunderbolts. Captain Britain's origin story begins with him as an ordinary child, born into a once wealthy aristocratic British family that have fallen on hard times and lost their fortune. As a young boy, he immersed himself in the study of science, and his sister is none other than Psylocke of the X-Men, further underscoring Excalibur's strong connection to the X-Men universe. Tragedy struck when his parents perished in a mysterious lab accident. In a twist of fate, his journey led him to enroll at the Darkmoor Nuclear Research Center later in life, where he found himself under attack by a formidable foe known as the Reaper. As he fought to escape, an unfortunate motorcycle crash left him injured and vulnerable. It was at this critical moment that he received an unexpected visit from Merlin and his daughter Rome. They presented him with a life-altering proposition, the opportunity to become Captain Britain. In return for his acceptance, they offered to heal his wounds and grant him immortality. The choice was his to make, and he opted for the Amulet of Light over the Sword of Might. This mystical amulet bestowed upon him the powers of Captain Britain, mending his injuries. He then joined the Captain Britain Corps, a diverse team with a mission reminiscent of the Time Variance Authority, TVA, but with a more righteous purpose. Their duty was to safeguard the multiverse from various threats, ensuring the stability of reality itself. This marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life. The formation of the Excalibur team came about in the aftermath of a significant event known as the Fall of the X-Men. Captain Britain, alongside Kitty Pryde, Nightcrawler, Shadowcat, and Magnet, who was his girlfriend at the time, united to rescue Rachel Summers, the daughter of Cyclops and Jean Grey. Their successful mission inspired them to continue the legacy of the X-Men by forming the Excalibur team. Interestingly, the character of Rachel Summers is set to make her debut in the upcoming season of the animated series X-Men 97. The teaser revealed a pregnant Jean Grey, hinting at Rachel's arrival. As for the portrayal of Captain Britain in the MCU, there is no official word yet on when his character will be announced or who will play the role. Suggestions like Henry Cavill have been circulating, but no concrete plans have been announced. The MCU is currently in a phase that explores the multiverse, and Secret Wars is expected to be a significant culmination of the storyline. Phase 7 could potentially usher in a new era focused on mutants and the X-Men, with hints and references possibly beginning in Deadpool 3 when classic X-Men actors return for a final swan song to their characters. Additionally, Emilia, Clarke, and Kit Harington's characters, Black Knight and Excalibur team members, may make cameo appearances during Marvel's Phase 6, setting the stage for future developments.